Hello, how you doing? My name is Nick Parks. I'm in the OLS 456 class, here to talk about global leadership. One, I want to reflect on what I think global leadership is having leadership in other countries and other cultures and being able to influence and implement your ideas on with other countries with the understanding of how their culture works. Some things that I want to go over that makes global leadership effective. First, I want to say communication. Communication is very, very important, especially with dealing with other leaders and other managers that are in different time zones. It's very important that you communicate very well, because without communication, projects can tend to fall down. Deadlines have a tendency to get met at a slower rate. You want to stay on top of communication, so if there's ever any trouble, you have time to correct those troubles shall some come up. Dependability, that kind of goes along with communication. You want to be very dependable in what you do. Understanding of other cultures, this is the main point when you're dealing with global leadership. For example, on my paper in my presentation, I work with Brazil. Brazil, I believe, is a great example when trying to talk about global leadership, because let's say that if you have a product that was made in the US, let's say for instance it's Purdue hat, and you want to market that Purdue hat in Brazil. Brazil is very precautious when it comes to outsiders coming in, trying to explain a new product or something that you want to use with them to try to market something. So some keys that a US salesman should know, or a corporation from the US should know, is that Brazil is very important on relationships. So it's best that if you want to say, get the product in Brazil, market it in November, but you need to build a relation with them for maybe 2 to 3 months before they can trust you. It's best to take that in consideration when going over to Brazil and trying to market your product. That way you have ample time to get to know them. That way you're following on their schedule as far as getting to know them, make it more personal, and that way you can still meet your deadline. Types of leaders I feel like for global leaders are, you should have an old school leader. And what I mean by old school leader is, especially with the rise of new technology, that's part of the new school leaders that know how to work with that technology to make it work for their corporations. For example, if let's say the new iPhone 7 that's supposed to come out, new school leaders will have a lot of great knowledge on how to use that iPhone 7, but maybe not necessarily be able to implement those ideas to get it done on time. And that's where an old school leader will be able to come in, and he can kind of be the driving force to make sure some things happen. That way they won't fall behind on track. Another key point that I have is consistency. You want to stay consistent in what you do. You don't want to be able to talk with them, talk with other countries, and not be able to follow with what you're saying. That kind of goes along with training as well. You want to be able to train your employees on how you want things to go in your corporation, in your market. For example, the last Skype leader that we had in class, I really appreciate the knowledge that she was giving us, because although she said that she's working here in the US, she was able to communicate with her team that was all over the country. I remember she used an example of somebody calling her from Europe, because on that side of the world it's regular time, but she described that when she got that call, it was 5 in the morning. So I mean, it's little things like that you'll have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I'm pretty sure I wasn't comfortable for her at all. She does a very good job of staying diligent with her team, staying consistent, having great communication, great dependability. She shows a lot of leadership by letting them know, how she wants things to run on her ship. And all to conclude, I really think that global leadership is something that is very great for the company. I mean, it shows opportunities for different countries to be able to brand and market their product, not be restricted to ones that are just in their country. I think it's a great way for products to be able to be shipped out and be able to be looked at by other people in this way to expand your market. Although it may take some time starting off small, but with the right ways and the right keys, your company can grow to something big. My name is Nick Parks. Thank you.